Tom Clover joins us. He's got table talk going in the Red Sea Turf Handicap, sponsored by Longines on Saturday. It's a welcome back, Tom, after a run here last year.
Yeah, great to be back. And yeah, we were a nice sixth in the race last year. It's a race that we always try and target something for if we can, being so valuable and a lovely welcoming trip to Saudi. So looking forward to table talk running on Saturday. He seems in great shape.
And you just said it's a busy international period for the team. You've got runners all around the Middle East over the next few days.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, we get well looked after here at the Saudi Cup, and so it's great to come. But yeah, we've got one in Qatar as well on Saturday, and then in Bahrain and Dubai as well. But no, great to be here in Saudi for the Red Sea Turf, and it's an incredible thing to be part of.
And how do you assess this horse's chances stepping up in trip into this handicap? It's a unique race and a unique opportunity.
Yeah, so good question. This has been the target for a long time, and he ran his first three races last year were really solid runs. He ran a very good race in a deep Hardwick, as the race always is, and he slightly lost his way last two starts last year. I mean, he was still placed in States Company, but we just felt we hadn't seen the horse we've seen at home or previously in the year. So we just tweaked a couple of things. And the sharp mile 7 round here, we feel, we'd hope that he's a horse that could hopefully be one who carries on over staying distances. He's a horse that's going to stay 2 miles, we hope. The poor horse has the burden of me riding him every day, and certainly he gives me the feel that I think, a nice gallop, a good trip should suit him. But we've got a lot of weight to give away. Some lovely horses that are weighted a bit less than us, and we're the second highest rated horse in the race. Which I suppose is a good thing. He's obviously a high quality horse, but it's going to be no hiding places, I'm sure, on Saturday, and going to be a tall order.
He's been gelded during the off season. Has that made any difference? Have you seen any sort of transformation in the horse himself?
Yeah, he could be quite colty. When he ran the Derby, he was particularly colty beforehand, and just with a horse in mind. When places like Saudi Arabia put on this incredible prize money, it just makes it a bit easier to travel horses when they're castrated, and he wasn't going to be a stallion. So having discussed with Mr. Mansouri, the owner, we thought it would be a good idea to have him castrated. And just from a longevity point of view, hopefully just a little bit less wear and tear on their joints. So fingers crossed it helps them out a bit.
And the distance as well, looking ahead to the weekend, he was a strong stayer even as a 3-year-old in a Melrose. The back end of the Hardwick, he was doing his best work late as well. Do you think he can improve again coming up in distance?
Yeah, I think he can. So the last 2 races, he didn't quite finish off back in the last year, but prior to that, he was very strong at the line. And so I'm hoping that we'll see that again. I'd like to see him run well through the line on Saturday. And if he can do that and get into a nice rhythm, then hopefully he can run a really solid race.
And beyond this weekend, what have you allowed yourself to dream of for the rest of the summer?
Well, it's a good question. So this has been the target really for a long time, ever since he won the Melrose. Actually, speaking with Ross for his jockey, we sort of always thought a trip to a race like the Red Sea Turf would be a lovely place to target him. So he's been very much trained for this, and if he runs very well, then you'd have to look at Dubai potentially. But I hope that ultimately he can progress into a lovely stayer back in the UK as well for the summer ahead.
And is that sort of in Stakes Company in the big staying races? I mean, you thought a lot of him to throw him into a Derby at a very early stage of his career.
Yes, he was on the back of winning a maiden. Yeah, no, he's a real sports fan, Mr. Mansouri. So that was really great to be part of such a big day like the Derby. And yes, he's got a lovely way of going. He's a lovely horse to ride. I mean, he's an absolute bust of a ride, really. Hence why I ride him every day. And he's just a lovely horse to have anything to do with. And I just hope that he can. He gives you a lovely feel. His work's been really good at home. He had an away day galloping at Chelmsford Racecourse back in the UK with his lead horse, and he galloped lovely there. And his fractions have been good at home. He's done some good work at home. So I would hope that he comes here in good shape and he can run with an awful lot of credit.
Okay, well, up to the floor. Any questions? Tom, there's still a microphone, is there? Roger? Thank you, Noel.
Did you think of a prep run for him, or is he not that?
No, good question, Roger. So there wasn't a huge amount in the UK for him, and hence why I had an away day at Chelmsford. I suppose he was only beaten a short head first run back in the UK last year, and I felt he needed the race that day. And he said, I probably trained him a bit harder coming into this, as you'd expect to with all the prize money on things. So I suppose we'll find out, but I'd hope he'd be reasonably straight.
Okay. Mikey?
Bit of a layoff off the go, kind of a bit of an almost horse last year, a bridesmaid. Getting him back to the winners enclosure for the first time since August 2024, what gives you confidence coming into this race?
So the last 2 runs I said last year, he wasn't quite up to it. And yes, you're right. He'd be nice to try and make him a winner again soon. But just having had him castrated now, and the way he's been training at home, would make me feel that, obviously a run in the first 3 here would be a huge run. And with the prize money on offer, you've got to think about these things. But yeah, I feel like he's in good shape. And for me, I'd just love to be probably £3 less. I think carrying £3 more is going to be hard, than some very nice horses. But yeah, if we can do that and run the first 4, it's going to be a huge run. Hopefully, a lovely stepping stone on the rest of the season.
Emma?
Hi, Tom. Just how much do you have to change your strategy now with this very valuable series of races out here in the Middle East? You've obviously got a lot of horses over here, a number of horses over here at the moment. And you don't have that natural downtime that one might have had in the winter at home, gearing up to the summer turf races in England. You have to sort of be a bit more strategic in plotting where the horses are going to go and how they're going to have a little bit of a break as well.
Yeah, no, very much so. I suppose with the excellent prize money on offer, you've got to think about these races. And so he only had 5 runs on Great Britain last year, and yeah, I think you sort of just means pulling up stumps perhaps a bit earlier, or giving him a little break through the summer, or whatever. But he's a horse that wants top of the ground, or good ground or better. So I feel like you sort of have to target the better ground through the summer or in the Middle East, and then hopefully have a little break through the autumn, or then in the spring in the UK, and try and make it work for you there, really.
Is your horse that will stay beyond 2 miles? Were you sort of thinking even Gold Cup Ascot?
No, I have no idea. Yeah, we'll see how we get on here and go from there. But yes, wouldn't that be a lovely dream one day? But yeah, realistically at the moment, we're rated where we are, and it's a very good rating, but he's sort of a Group 3 rated horse at this stage, and he needs to progress a little bit, and hopefully that improvement can come from stepping up in trip and being castrated. And he's a lightly raced horse. We looked after him, so hopefully now he can really go through the gears now as a 5-year-old and onwards.
Okay, Laura?
How are you juggling being in Qatar and Saudi this weekend?
My wife Jackie's in Qatar, and I'm here in Saudi. So no, luckily she's very much part of the team, Laura. So she's dropping off our children actually in Dubai on Thursday, and so popping over to Qatar, and we've got Dubai next week. So all ties in nicely to get away from rainy Britain.
Good job. Well, Tom, great to see you here. Best of luck on Saturday, and hope it goes well for you.
Thanks a million. Cheers.
Thanks.